back to the shop. Mudford here. And I got me some parts. My fan and controller kit for the solar heater. Yeah, this is awesome coming from Canada. You get the best of both worlds. You get slow Canadian post service and slow United States Postal Service. It was awesome. So you just get this fan with it. It's a little 12-volt fan. It says brushless, I think. Yeah, brushless right there. And it's not made in China, made in Thailand. Hey, that's a step up. Has a little nice, shiny, pretty guard on it. And it's supposed to be a variable speed. I don't know about that, but and it comes with that's supposed to be some kind of a temperature sensor for the controller. This is one that's going to be right by the outlet, and then there's a real long cord on one, and another one that's going to go with the inlet, and then you just get this little controller. Looks pretty simple, and that's what you get with it. So yeah, that's all this is. So we're gonna go ahead and try to get this my table here, which was the solar heater. I'm gonna try to get that installed today. Okay, so for installing this thing, I got a piece of 4-inch dryer vent. This is pretty cheap, a couple dollars, $4 maybe, and this should be enough to do both sides. This should be enough to cut in half and do both the top and the bottom, the inlet and the outlet. I also picked this up because I just wanted to have something on the top. Probably going to mount this and see it swings out. I don't know how. I got this flap here. I'm not sure how this is going to work, or how I'm going to mount it actually. But I figured this would be, I want to mount it in the house and have it flap inwards. I'm not sure how that's going to work. I'll have to work on that. It should be doable, but that's my plan. And then, of course, more Gorilla Tape for taping the edges once it's in place for the final time. And I've got 6 2-inch brackets. I'm going to go ahead and get this up in place, figure out where these are going to go, mark it all, screw these on to the wall, and then I'll be able to slip, hopefully it'll slip right in between them, and then I will have it mounted good and solid on the wall. But it's going to take quite a bit of planning and quite a bit of measuring and double checking before I mount it permanently. Okay, be prepared to spend a lot of time wandering in and out, trying to figure it out where it's going to mount. I don't know if you can see right up above there where the board is a little different. Our house has been remodeled, and we had some little windows up there to let light in when this was a garage before. So there's studs in, and they're framed in right there. So I got to be careful. I don't know if you can see right now. I'm right on that, so that's not going to work. And then I also have an outlet. If I move it over to the right, closer to the window here, then I'm going to put my bottom hole where it's going to go will be right in line with an outlet. So I'm trying to really work it precise to get it where I want it. And I also want to tuck it right up under this lip right here. That's what my plan is to put it right at that height, just for the outside part here. I thought it'd be perfect. It puts a little low inside because I do have 10-foot ceilings in there. And it'll put the register out right close to the floor. Okay, I put my collector up right where I wanted it, and I have the top hole cut through it. So I marked where that is, where I want that to be. And now I'm just going to drill a pilot hole right in the middle of that. And then hopefully I'm going to go all the way through into the interior. And hopefully it'll be good. We'll see. If I have to move it a little bit, that's why I'm just drilling a small hole. And that way I can still move it over left or right if I have to. So we'll see how that goes. Okay, I just drilled a small hole through the siding. This is just 1/2 inch thick. It's T111. And there's an inch thick of the foil faced Celotex, and then my insulation. So I'm going to go ahead and, this is just a regular welding rod. I'm going to stick it through there. And now it is right to my, it's pretty square, and it's right to my, the back of my drywall. I'm just going to give that a tap and make a small hole in the drywall. You can see it's pretty level because my hole was pretty good sized, you know, just a hair bigger than the welding rod. I'm going to give it a tap. It's just going to make a small hole in my drywall inside, and I'll be able to tell if everything's going to line up. I can put a 4-inch circle on the inside of my drywall and make sure I'm not going to hit anything. And if it's in the wrong spot, it's just going to be a little tiny hole that can be easily patched. Or chances are we can just move over this way a little bit, just a hair, and try again. Okay, I had to make a slight adjustment because of studs inside the window support here for the non-existent window, but I had to move up 3.5 inches because there's a board going right across here. So I moved it up 3.5 inches, marked it, drilled it out. I marked it inside too already, and it does line up with what I had inside. So I hung my chalk line as a plumb bob, and now we're measuring 84 inches down, and that is for my bottom hole. And I measured it. Where is it? I just marked it. It's actually right there. That's where the string was hanging. That's my 84. Okay, so the welding rod came through pretty much exactly where I wanted it to. I don't like that it's going to be real close to the outlet, but that's as good as we can hope for with the situation we have. Okay, I have the upper pipe installed. I've marked about 1 inch sticking out through the foam where I'm going to cut it. Cut slits, fold it over. And I think I have it pretty close to level. So I've got it marked over here. I'm going to put a bracket here. I had to go up a little bit. It's not exactly how I wanted. I wanted it to be tucked under this, but now with it down, any of the rainwater on the top should just come off. Okay, here's the fan. I kind of squared off a piece of the 4-inch dryer tubing and mounted it on because this is square on the edges. And then I'm just going to slide this through the wall. I'm just going to slide this through the wall until it hits, the corners hit hopefully on the drywall. And then I'm going to mark on it where it sticks through 1 inch past the inside of the solar collector. Pull it back out, cut it on the line, cut the reliefs in it so I can fold it over, and we'll go from there. Okay, well I had it up before hanging from the pipe before I took it off to trim the pipe. I measured where I wanted my brackets, and I got the brackets installed now on the wall. All 6 of them line up fairly good. Not perfect, but should be able to make them work. And you can see that lines up pretty good. I still have to drill a hole behind the collector for the temperature probe. I want it to run outside the wall where you can't see it. Outside the exterior wall, that is, right behind here. And then it's going to go in through the other, it's going to go in through the outlet where the fan's going to be. I still have yet to cut the hole for that. I'm just about to do that. I'm just going to make sure I have it in place where I want it. And I have the hole cut through the wall, so I'm just going to take the pipe and ram it through into the styrofoam, into the foil back part, and it should leave an indentation where I need to cut. Okay, there was a nice indentation where the pipe's going to go. You can see it right there. It was all the way around, so I just took my knife, finishing it up right now. So here's the upper thermistor. I think it's called a thermistor. It's right there, and right up in the path of the airflow. And the wire for that runs, drilled a hole through the 4-inch pipe, and it's running outside of my siding. It actually goes over to this groove, runs down that groove all the way to the outlet pipe, and it runs on the outside of the outlet pipe, and then it goes in through the wall and connects to the controller. Then there's also a little one there's also another thermistor right there that is measuring the temperature of the outlet air. And then there's also another thermistor inside of the controller that's measuring the ambient temperature in the room. So all I have to do now, I'm going to go ahead and get it securely fastened to the wall. Still don't have it. I'm going to put the screws in, get it just how I want it. It's not exactly tight up against the wall. I'm going to fold those over, paint them, put the gasket on. I'm going to put a quick spray around there, spray all the cracks I'm going to spray all the nicks. I'm also going to put foil tape real quick, and then spray all that stuff with a high temp paint, and then I'm going to slap it back together, and I already have the holes pre-drilled. Okay, so I got the 4-inch vent folded over tight now. Okay, hopefully this is the final assembly. I got the screen assembly is in, screwed in. All I need to do is put the polycarbonate on. Everything's painted. We'll see how it looks then. Okay, what I've done is put Gorilla Tape over the edge in just far enough to cover the screw holes, and then I'm finding the screw holes. I can see one right there, and then I'm putting the screws in, and then once I get it tight, I'm folding the Gorilla Tape over to seal it to the wood. Got her done now. Doesn't look too bad. Sealed up. The polycarbonate's on. We're good to go. So I'll probably show you again. Probably come out and take a look at it in the morning, but I think it turned out pretty good. Okay, we got a partly cloudy day today, and we're getting some decent sun on the panel. And it's not on right at this second. It was on earlier. We'll go inside, wait for it to kick on again, and go inside and see how hot the air is coming out. Okay, it's a sunny day today. Let me turn this on. Fan is running. We're looking at like 89 degrees, 88 degrees. That's what it's blowing out right now. It's about maybe 30 some degrees out, so that's not too bad. My biggest disappointment is how infrequently it runs, and the sun has to be directly onto it. Even if you have a little bit of shade, it doesn't seem like it comes on, and if the sun goes behind the cloud, it shuts off. Seems like it just doesn't run as much as I'd like it to. That's my biggest disappointment, but it is kicking out some heat right now. I mean, pretty decent heat. So it does. It's getting warmer now. It's getting hotter now. We're seeing over 100 even. So that's good. Hopefully it keeps running. Fan's kicking out quite a bit too. It's on as high as it goes, so pretty excited about that.